Okay, Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, so I have uploaded the notes for today's lecture, that is lecture 4 on the topic of project management. Before we proceed with this topic, with lecture 4 ni, let's recall what we have gone through from the very beginning of topic 1, that is the introduction to ISE, right? And then topic 2, we have discussed on the players as well as the drivers, the factors that promotes the development of IS. And chapter 3, we have discussed on the development approach. We have seen the terminology of methodology, methods, tools, and techniques. And then also about the approach, there are two major approaches. That is the predictive and adaptive, right? So for predictive approach, we have predictive approach, right? It's suitable for low risk kind of systems, and also whereby the requirements of the system can be well identified, as opposed to adaptive. This is more suitable when the requirements are uncertain, and also as it is meant for high risk kind of systems to be developed. Okay, so you recall baliklah daripada topik 1 in terms of definition, what information systems is all about, the components of IS and so on. And then topic 2 is quite significant, whereby topic 2 emphasizes regarding the stakeholders or the players, of information systems, whereby when you plan to develop a system or information systems, you will have to identify who the stakeholders are, in the sense that stakeholders are not only users, Stakeholders can be the developers, because you look at the definition of stakeholders. They can be the developers itself. They can also be those who fund the project, the funders of the project, okay, and also users, of course. And we have several categories of users as well. We have internal and external users, as well as technical and non-technical users, right? And we have also seen the drivers for the development of IS, in terms of business drivers as well as technology drivers. That one you have done in your tutorial, right? So, all right. So starting from this week onwards, for tutorial activities, we we have given to you the description of your class project. Therefore, we are expecting you to produce progress of your project. Starting from this week, we have assigned that you are supposed to be identifying the organization concerned, right? So starting from tomorrow, tomorrow, respectively, CS2595A with Puan Fauzia, CS264A and B with me, you will have to actually explain, about the organization that you have approached. Okay, So besok dengan saya CS2 CS44A, I will call out every group to actually inform in terms of the stakeholders that you have reached out for. And then once you have engaged with your stakeholders, with your the organization, you are supposed to know the business flow regarding the online groceries. Perhaps they already have gone online. Kalau dia dah ada online system, then it is not suitable for you to do so. Okay. What you need to do is to find an organization that does not have any online grocery system, identify them, and then you kena kaji dahulu macam apakah jenis grocery yang dijual dalam kedai tersebut. How do they categorize the groceries? Ada yang bertanya dekat saya macam eco shop and so on. Yeah, eco shop dia macam they sell anything under the sun, right? Macam Mr. DIY and so on. Tapi Mr. DIY tak ada grocery, right? Mr. DIY is more towards hardware. Tapi adalah juga benda-benda lain kan. Bukan grocery, they have junk food, drinks and so on. Tapi kalau macam eco shop tu dia punya range tu lebih besar dan there is a segment yang melibatkan grocery. So kalau you approach these kinds of stores, right, yang menjual lebih daripada grocery, saya minta you fokus hanya kepada grocery dahulu. Okay, yang lain-lain tu pakaian ke, slipper ke apa itu, just put aside, focus on the grocery department. Alright? Okay. Right, so today we will be looking into the topic of project management. Okay, so what project management is all about? How does this topic relate to ISE as well as to your project, your own class project? Yeah, namanya pun project kan? Okay, you have been assigned to conduct a project. So bila melibatkan project, definitely there are resources involved. Yeah, to conduct a project, there must be resources involved. So what we do with the resources, how do we control, how do we manage the resources, kena ada teknik tertentu. Okay, so ini yang akan dibincangkan dalam topik of project management. Alright, so for the...
excuse me, madam.
Yeah?
Madam, okay, dah record. Tadi saya tengok tak record lagi.
Dah. Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
Natasha, no problem. Okay, so learning objectives of project management. Yeah, first one, I explain the elements of project management and the responsibilities of a project manager. Now, project manager ni, when you are being employed later, bila you bekerja nanti, you pegang satu post dalam organisasi tersebut. Contohnya web developer. Okay, that is the post that is being assigned to you. In that organisation. Tapi project manager ni bukan satu post, tapi dia merupakan satu role. You can be a web developer, and if you are leading the project, you are called as the project manager. Alright? And if you, as the web developer, at one time, tak semestinya you're involved in one project aja tau. Okay? You might be involved in probably 2 or 3 other projects. So mungkin project A, you are the project manager. Project B, you bukan manager. You are reporting to somebody else who is also a who is also a web developer. Tapi untuk project B ni, that particular person, that somebody else is the project manager, not you. You mungkin memainkan peranan lain. Project C pun, you are reporting to somebody else. Okay, so dalam satu hari tu, you kena bahagikan tugas, roles and responsibilities to these 3 projects. Being a manager, you punya tanggungjawab lain. Being a team member, your responsibilities will be different, whereby you have to report to the respective project managers. Right? Then explain project initiation and the activities in the project planning phase of the SDLC. Now kita dah nak mula melaksanakan project. So we are starting to look into the project planning phase of the SDLC, kita software development life cycle. So any SDLC will start off with the phase of planning. Okay, that is where project management takes place, starting from the very beginning of the project phase, right? And third, describe how the scope of the new system is determined. Now, to determine the scope, kenapa kita nak determine the scope of a system? What's the scope actually? When we talk about scope of something, what does it mean?
Limitation.
Limitation, yeah, it could be one.
Boundaries.
The boundaries, yeah. Because dalam scope tu ada, okay, I cannot draw it here. If you have a scope, okay, you are concerned kalau ada sempadan tu kan, you, okay, macam ni lah ya, saya bagi analogi. Probably your ancestors, moyang-moyang dulu kan, mungkin meneroka satu kawasan, tak kisahlah kawasan perumahan ke kawasan pertanian. Siapa orang Ipoh kat sini? Anyone from Ipoh? Ada? No one? Tak ada? Okay. So if or any of you who is from Ipoh, surely you know perkampungan bernama Rapat Setia. Okay. Rapat Setia is sebelah Sungai Rokam. I was born in Ipoh, right? Okay, so dulu masa penerokaan tanah, there is no such thing yang kerajaan dah sediakan satu lot tanah ini berapa square meters and kena register pejabat tanah macam tu kan. Sekarang ni we have a proper system to do so if you are to procure a piece of land. But dulu-dulu bila orang nak mulakan perumahan, what they do is that dia akan pancangkan kayu. Okay, dekat, okay, this is my piece of land, this is my plot. So dia akan pancang kayu, so dalam area, dalam kayu tu merupakan scope. Di luar kayu tu is beyond the scope. And the kayu-kayu is the boundary. Itu analogi dia. So sama dengan project, especially those CS25 now you are doing your ISP550 this semester. This has to be very, very clear to you. Okay, you are supposed to be identifying a problem. Sama ya. In fact, class project yang you buat ni is small scale of your FYP actually, and your FYP has to be conducted individually. Ya, class project ni you conduct dalam kumpulan in a smaller scale, right? So kita kena tahu apakah skopnya, you identify the problem, and we have to identify the scope that we are giving the solution for. Right? Contoh, macam saya kata tadi, if your stakeholder is a shop, that sells more than grocery, macam eco shop kan, dia jual pinggan mangkuk lah, periuk belanga, and then baju-baju apa. Itu bukan you punya scope. You punya scope hanyalah grocery. That's from that particular perspective. Your scope is to develop an online grocery system. Okay, yang lain-lain tu jangan tengok dulu. Okay, that is beyond the scope. So with regards to your FYP pun sama, when you have identified the problem and you are proposing a solution, right? You will have to identify, okay, this is the scope of the solution in the sense of, okay, satu ialah development scope. Development ni scope ni pulang ni sebab kalau kita tengok daripada STLC, if you were to fully develop the system, then you have to go through all the phases stated in STLC, from planning until implementation and testing. That is the whole scope of development. But if your focus is only is on coding, let's say, you have to specify very much in the beginning. You have to specify daripada awal bahawa the scope of this project is on coding of the system, because the requirements and design have been solved or have been proposed by previous students. Yeah, it is possible. 264 you will be facing this next semester. It is possible for you to take up from other people's project. Maknanya your senior probably dah buat something tapi it's a groundwork. Okay, kerja permulaan. Okay, dan you continue with the project. So you have to state in the scope bahawa the groundwork has been conducted by previous researchers. You kena cite lah siapa yang buat tu. Right? And your scope of work is bahagian ini. Development probably. Mungkin tak masuk testing. Ya? You buat coding, mungkin the previous student have done on the requirements identification and analysis. You are doing the design and coding, right? That will be your development scope. And for testing, you propose that the phase of testing will be conducted in future research for other researchers to continue. That is a scope. Itu melibatkan development. Alright, so scope has to be determined from the very beginning, so that kenapa penting kita nak tahu, kenapa penting kita nak identify scope daripada awal? Why is that so? Anyone?
So we have a plan.
A plan so that
the project goes successful.
How can the project be successful with a proper plan? What do you plan? What do you plan?
The scope determines to what extent we will go for the project.
Alright, okay. Exactly, the scope. But what is it that you plan? You plan for the resources just now I mentioned. What are the project resources? Of course, yang paling penting pada you all ialah time. Kalau you go scope terlampau besar, bila scope you terlampau besar, you won't have enough time to accomplish it. That is why your scope to have to be determined very much earlier on, dengan sebaik mungkin, so that you have enough time to complete the project. So what are project resources? Satu saya kata tadi, time. Okay. In reality, not only time, we have budget, alright, budget as well as manpower. Itu dalam project yang we say that in real life lah. Sebenarnya you buat you punya FYP pun these things ada juga kan, alright. Selain daripada you punya time, at the end of CSP600 you kena produce a Gantt chart to show what's your plan. Okay, untuk proposal, this is what you have been completed. So untuk execution, what is your plan based on time, right? Budget, of course lah. Walaupun benda tu tak nampak, you dapat PTPTN ke, self-sponsored ke, whatever ke, you have to allocate quite a large amount of money sebenarnya untuk buat project ni, especially during your data collection. Sometimes nak kena install tool, ada yang bukannya freeware that you have to pay. Okay, that's budget. So I was talking about time, budget. And kalau you buat dalam kumpulan macam apa yang you buat dalam kelas ni, right, it's about manpower. So you have to manage the manpower in the sense that being the team leader, you will have to identify the strengths of each of your team members, so that you are allocating the right task to the right person. Okay, there are a lot of tasks to be done in a project. So you have to ensure that the person that takes charge of the task, is responsible enough, have enough knowledge on what he or she has to do. Katakanlah dia kena do some programming or do use some whatever software, ya. Kena make sure yang person yang in charge tu well versed with the software lah. Kalau tidak, you kena spend more time nak belajar lagi tentang software tu, lepas tu nak guna pakai. It takes time to train yourself. Okay? Alright, let's move on to the next slide. Right. Okay, so fundamental principles of project management. Okay, look at the role of the project manager. Tadi saya mention, ya. Project manager bukan position, it's a role. Okay. Then project management is part of the SDLC as well as project management knowledge areas. Yang ini saya tak nak cerita panjang sebab this one is further explained in ISP550, computing project management regarding project management body of knowledge. Right? Okay, so project planning activities within the SDLC will be explained, whereby here, planning the problem needing an IS solution will be explained, as well as developing a project schedule. Right? Paling penting schedule kena establish. And confirming project feasibility. What about feasibility? Apa yang kita nak study about feasibility ni? Okay, and lastly, finally, it's about staffing and launching the project. Staffing ni, kita identify who will be involved, who will be doing what. Right, based on the task identified, who will be doing what will be further elaborated, and then we launch the project. Ini kalau launching a project ni selalu kita tengok kat TV kan. Kadang tu ada potong bendera, potong ribbon lah, apalah kan. Itu adalah launching of the project. Launching of some kind of project. It's not necessarily to be a development project. It could be a physical kind of meletak batu asas apa benda kan. Itu adalah launching of a project. Yeah, signifies launching of the project. So, definition of project management. Okay, let's have a look at from academic perspective in terms of project management. The application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet the project requirements. Okay, before that, what's a project? Okay, it's a planned undertaking with a beginning and end. Dia tak adanya ikut suka hati aku bila siap. Okay, mesti ada permulaan, mesti ada akhir. And produces a predetermined results. We already know there is a result at the end. Apa sebenarnya result yang kita nak? Okay, and it's usually constrained by schedule and other resources. Okay, that it is not something like ikut suka aku bila nak mula, bila nak siap, ikut suka hati aku lah bila how much I'm going to spend, berapa ramai nak masuk. Tak. It's a planned undertaking. Everything has to be properly planned. Right? So, project success factors, according to Standish Group study, right? Apparently, 28% of system development project successful. Only 28. Okay, 72% ini study in 2000 ya, cancel, completed late, completed over budget, and or limited in functionality. So based on Standish is statistic firm yang banyak look into IT punya areas. Kalau project tu completed late, although it is completed, somehow it is completed late, it is considered to be a failure. Right? Completed over budget. Completed tapi melebihi budget daripada yang kita tetapkan daripada awal. It's also considered to be a failure. And also limited in functionality. Daripada awal kata ada 10 functionality tapi masa deliver ada 8. Okay, so they consider it as a failure as well. Right? Thus, project requires careful planning, control as well as execution. So kena ada proper planning. Planning aja tak cukup ya. Kena ada proper control. Control means to say that if we talk about schedule, yeah. If we look at the schedule and we are behind schedule, sepatutnya by end of November dah siap data collection. Tapi you belum lagi mencari siapa stakeholder. Alright? Then something has to do about it. Okay, something has to be done about it. Maknanya you are behind schedule, kena put more effort ke, kena do something about it lah. Okay, that is controlling the project. Right. Now, reasons for project failure. Number one, ini yang paling famous. Incomplete or changing requirements. Selalunya changing of requirements lah. Sentiasa changing of requirements sampai kita developers ni duk nak lah entertain the changing of requirements sampai tak buat benda lain. Okay. So, menyebabkan project failure. So, a proper control has to be in place. Secondly, limited user involvement. User has to be involved. Again, when we talk about user, there are internal user, there are external user, there are technical user, there are also non-technical user. All these have to be taken into account. Bukannya setakat direct user yang akan guna pakai sistem tu. Okay? Because there are also indirect users. Right? The lack of executive support. Okay, ini selalunya berlaku bila top management are not aware of what you are doing. That is why, when you are conducting a project, you have to ensure that you are reporting to your top management. Okay, at the moment, I'm involved with 3 projects. Okay, I'm already fully occupied. So please, if there are new projects coming in, give it to somebody else. But you have to report to them. Otherwise, your superior will keep on giving you work. Okay? Bila dia keep on giving you work, maknanya tak ada support with the projects that you are embarking on, yang currently you are executing. Right? Then lack of technical support. Tengah buat project tapi facilities tak cukup. Okay, ataupun technical support tak cukup. Right? In terms of, ada new software yang kena patch ke apa ke kan, okay, tapi tak ada technical parties yang datang to support the necessary needs. So that menyebabkan project tu doomed to fail, right? Of course, poor project planning, terlampau ambitious sometimes, project yang terlampau futuristic, right? Unclear objectives again, my dear, right? This one, unclear objectives ni daripada awal, ya. Sama juga mana-mana project, especially when you are conducting your FYP. Make sure that your objectives are clear. Because kalau you tak clear with your objectives, right, you don't know what you're doing. Conducting the project is actually to achieve the objectives that you have stipulated. Yeah, you dah nyatakan apa the objective of the project. So all those objectives have to be fulfilled. Kalau you state ada 3 objektif tapi hanya 2 sahaja yang tercapai, projek itu considered sebagai fail. Ya, sebab objektif tak tercapai. Right? So from the very beginning, objectives have to be very, very clear what you need to do. Right? And lack of required resources. You know that to do this project, these are the hardware that needs to be installed. Sorry, hardware that you require, the software that needs to be installed, the knowledge that you need to have, right? So not having enough of those things, ya, akan menyebabkan projek tersebut doomed to fail. Right? Now, reasons for project success. Ini yang disebutkan di sini ialah the ideal situation. There is no ideal situation yang you buat projek je semua dah dapat. Tak. I'm giving you an example. Okay, my daughter is conducting a project that she has to deal with statistic department. She emailed the statistic department requesting data for students in IPTs, yeah, IPTA and IPTS. But then statistic department, I have warned her from the very beginning. There's no such thing, oh you nak data macam ni ya, dia bagi satu dulang terus data. Tak ada. Tak. They will give you some kinds of data that still you have to analyze and you still have to get back to them. Okay. Contoh, macam you nak buat sistem ni kan, with regards to your class project. You liaise dengan you punya stakeholders. Okay. You know that you are supposed to be delivering an online grocery system. Okay. But then when you ask them, before that online grocery system can be developed, you have to ensure that in terms of storage, data storage tu ya, the data storage have to be organized in the sense that the categories of groceries tu is well defined. Okay, contohnya perishable items. I don't know how you're going to categorize. We have to find out. Perishable items, non-perishable items, and then apa ni, cleaning punya detergents ke apa ke, macam mana dia categorizekan. Mungkin daripada satu organisation dengan organisation lain tu berbeza. Dan bila you minta data daripada mereka, sometimes they don't even organize it accordingly, according to the categories. Dia akan bagi you, these are the groceries that we have. You kena pandai-pandai sendiri. Okay, you kena pandai-pandai tu bukannya suka hati ya. You kena cari kaedah macam mana nak membahagikan kategori of groceries. Probably from other systems, probably by reading or whatever. Okay? Alright. Then reasons for project success. Okay, clear system requirement definitions. Alright, substantial user involvement. Bukannya sentiasa ya, every day bila you buat development, every day ada je user. Okay, bila sentiasa ada user, dia mengganggu juga. Okay, mengganggu apa? Always nak change requirements. Substantial means just enough. Kalau orang kata masak tu garam tu secukup rasa. Okay, substantial user information. You have to gain this kind of skills when you are doing development with the users. Then support from upper management. This one, macam saya kata, as opposed to lack of executive support, yeah, in order to ensure that the project is a success, yeah, you make sure that your upper management gives you enough support, right? Then thorough and detailed project plans. Okay, so what do you do to produce your Gantt chart? You guna apa selalunya nak produce Gantt chart? Software apa? Pernah produce Gantt charts? Before this?
Belum lagi.
Belum lagi? Classes lain? Tak pernah belajar tentang Gantt chart?
Tak pernah lagi.
Are you sure? Sepatutnya ada Tak apa, nanti akan belajar. Okay. Sama ada you gonna apply that. Memang kena apply pun masa you punya ISP550, tapi you akan belajar buat Gantt chart dalam project management, computing project management, right? So nak hasilkan Gantt chart, you boleh pakai Microsoft Project. Salah satu daripada software tools yang diguna pakai untuk produce Gantt chart, right? So through the Gantt chart, you know what tasks there are to complete the project and the duration of the task to be conducted, daripada tarikh berapa sampai tarikh berapa, apa kena buat dan seterusnya. That should be detailed enough. And then realistic work schedules and milestones. Yeah, whatever task, whatever schedule that you produce has to be realistic. Walaupun kita ada 24 jam sehari, you have to ensure that semasa you buat pengiraan tentang schedule, you cannot take like 24 jam sehari orang bekerja untuk accomplish the project, right? Our working time is like 8 hours per day. Okay, so based on that 8 hours per day, you'll be producing the schedule and milestones, yeah? Okay, now role of the project manager. Okay, project manager, being a project manager, okay. Okay, beginning of the project, daripada awal, is to plan and organize. Responsibility dia untuk come up dengan plan, the project plan, and organize it, right? And during the execution, is to monitor and control. Monitor macam tadilah saya kata, tengok adakah projek ini behind schedule or ahead of schedule, what is not enough and so on based on sufficiency apa semua tu. So kalau ada mana-mana yang lacking, then also it is the responsibility of the project manager to control. Responsibilities are both internal and external. Apa benda internal external ni? Okay, saya tengok dekat diagram ni teruslah senang. Okay. Look at this. Ya, project manager ni. So dekat atas ni ialah external stakeholders. Apa maksud external stakeholders? These stakeholders are outside of the organisation that the project manager is being employed. Right? And the internal stakeholders are the people inside of the organization that the project manager is being employed. So to liaise with the external stakeholders, who are the potential external stakeholders ni? Of course, the user. Okay. User ni ramai lah ya, non-technical and non-technical, and also clients. And there is an oversight committee. Normally these are the people or the another organization who fund the project. Could be, bila kita kata external ni, kemungkinan juga ianya adalah dalam organisasi yang sama tapi department yang lain. Okay, for instance, in UiTM, ya, pejabat yang bertanggungjawab untuk develop systems, untuk develop ya, ialah pejabat infrastruktur. Infrastruktur yang mana pejabatnya ialah dekat bangunan menara itulah. Okay. Siapakah stakeholders? Okay. The external stakeholders, ya, walaupun dalam UiTM, because infrastruktur ni dia akan develop sistem untuk faculty, untuk pejabat pendaftar, untuk bendahari dalam universiti. Tapi it is considered to be external because it is outside of infrastruktur punya pejabat. Okay, so the project manager is liaising with clients, probably bahagian hal ehwal akademik, user daripada pejabat akademik, user daripada pejabat hal ehwal pelajar, kemungkinan. On top of that, when we talk about internal, okay, not only internal to university, sekarang ni internal kepada pejabat infrastruktur. So project manager akan berinteraksi or has to liaise with team leaders. Dia tak liaise direct dengan member ya, tapi ada team leaders. Ini untuk projek yang besar. So bila satu projek besar, dia ada banyak team leaders. Okay, so the team leaders are the one who will be liaising with the project manager, not the members. Selain daripada itu, dia juga, project manager juga perlu berinteraksi or has to deal with subcontractors. Okay, contoh. Alright, they are being given a task to develop a system for pejabat for bahagian hal ehwal akademik regarding a system untuk generate soalan peperiksaan. Okay. So ada team leaders yang for the development. At the same time, this team also needs to purchase a software. Another software for development purposes lah. So bila mereka perlukan satu software untuk buat development tu, dia kena liaise dengan subcontractor. So subcontractor ni juga will have to deal with the project manager. Apa subcontractor ni? Can somebody explain to me? Apa apa fungsi subcontractor di sini? Muhammad Akmar Zulkifli. Are you here?
Yes.
Boleh cerita sikit tak subcontractor ni macam mana?
Saya pun tak sure Doktor.
Ha? Tak
Saya
sure? Okay. Alright. Okay, saya bagi analogi ya. Okay. You nak buat rumah. Ini bukan rumah yang dah siap You or your parents bought a piece of land and you want to construct a house. Okay. So bila nak construct a house, you have to engage a main contractor. Okay. You as a client, you deal directly with the main contractor. So main contractor ni akan liaise dengan arkitek untuk producekan plan, akan liaise dengan macam-macam lagi lah pihak-pihak localities ya untuk air, untuk elektrik and so on. Okay. Main contractor ni dia tak ada satu nak buat kabinet. Kabinet dapur. Dia tak buat sendiri main contractor ni. Dia akan mencari kawan dia ataupun kenalan dia yang buat kitchen cabinet. Dan dia akan subcontract kerja kitchen cabinet, membangunkan kitchen cabinet itu kepada kawan dia tu. Alright? Okay, so dia akan subcontract the work to produce the kitchen cabinet to the friends, and then bila kawan dia dah habis siap install at that particular house, after a while, after 1 month, tiba-tiba you tengok, there is something wrong with the washing basin dekat kitchen cabinet tu, ataupun satu pintu terkopak ke sebab pasang tak betul. Okay, you sebagai klien. Sebagai klien, you tak deal directly dengan subcontractor tu. You akan deal dengan main contractor tu tadi. Okay, so this particular main contractor will then have to liaise with his friend yang buat kitchen cabinet tu. Sebab dia subcon the task to somebody else. Okay, that is the concept of subcontract. It happens. Memanglah itu je lah dia punya kerja dia memang macam tu. Main contractor dia tak ada semua sekali. Syarikat dia tak buat semua benda dengan besi, dengan papan, dengan tak. Dia akan subconkan untuk kerja kayu, this friend of mine would be doing it. Untuk kerja-kerja besi, okay, untuk buat grill ke apa, there's another friend yang ada syarikat untuk produce besi and so on. So sama dengan development of a system. Okay, let's say you need to have a software, software dealing with data storage, big data ke whatever ke, right? This team will have to find somebody who knows about the data storage, okay? Tapi kemungkinan orang kata supplier tu akan communicate dengan somebody else yang membangunkan sistem tersebut. Okay, the developer will then give it to the supplier. Supplier akan hantar kepada team ini untuk diguna pakai. So if anything goes wrong, you don't deal with the developer yang coming up with the data storage tadi. You deal with the person yang in charge tu lah. Development akan jadi macam tu. So the terminology subcontractor ni, subcon ni, kan orang selalu pakai subcon, that's why mungkin tak tahu kot. Mungkin terminologi subcon tu you lebih familiar with. Subcon tu sebenarnya adalah singkatan untuk subcontractor. Okay, subcon kerja ke orang lain. Okay, ini banyak terjadi. Right? Okay, next. Right, so about the role of project manager, saya dah encapsulate semua sekali identify project tasks and build a work breakdown structure. Ini adalah the internal responsibilities in more detail. Develop project schedule, recruit and train team members, project manager is responsible to identify who will be in the team, what knowledge they have, what knowledge they don't have. So kalau tak cukup, they have to recruit and train the members, assign team members to tasks, and also coordinate activities of team members and sub-teams. All right, then for also to assess project risk, ini adalah salah satu body of knowledge of project management tentang risk management. Then monitor and control project deliverables and milestones, and also verify the quality of the project deliverables. Okay, with that saya nak sekejap saya buka dia punya visit. Your scheme of work should be describing the project. Okay, tak apa, while waiting for it. Okay, monitor and control project deliverables and milestone. Okay, so the project manager, kalau tengok dekat scheme of work kan, sepatutnya minggu keberapa tu you kena identify, astagfirullahalazim. Sekejap. Hold on Tak apalah, saya cakap je dulu. Okay, initial thing, the initial thing about the project that you will have to deliver within this week, bukan deliver lah pun, secara informal, you will have to actually describe the organisation that has agreed to be your stakeholder. Okay, sekejap Okay. Yep, saya swap the file. Okay. Okay. Right. So you will have to prepare project proposal sebenarnya. Okay, develop project timeline and schedule and prepare project proposal. But katakanlah sehingga setakat ini you belum jumpa mana-mana organisasi yang bersetuju untuk menjadi you punya stakeholder. Okay. Sebenarnya you dah kena present, bukan present secara formal, tapi you dah tahu to describe about the organisation and you haven't done so. So if that happens, then the project manager in your context is your team leader will have to control the project deliverables and milestones. Okay, saya akan keep the progress as we go on, dan setiap minggu saya akan bagi tahu what to expect in the subsequent week. So contoh macam minggu ni saya kata saya nak tengok you are able to describe the organizations. Alright. So next week is a break. You are supposed to be refining it. Refining maknanya you nak confirm with the organization, okay, do they agree to work with you or to cooperate with you? Right? And coming back after the break, all right, you are supposed to be presenting the proposal. Maknanya you dah tahu dah apa problem yang dihadapi oleh organisasi tersebut, and you are supposed to be proposing the solution to the problem that the organisation is facing. Remember that dalam topik 2 juga saya dah describe bahawa problem in general can be, okay, satu ialah problem itself. Problem tu maknanya ada complaints. So you are trying to solve the complaints. Next one is opportunity. Opportunity ni apa beza dengan problem? Ialah opportunity ni the staff of the organisation dia tak ada complain. Everything works well. But then you see it as a chance, to increase the profit of the organisation. Contohnya you kata kalau ada sistem ni, ada web application ni, maka profit of the organisation akan bertambah. You see that as an opportunity. So you are proposing a solution to the opportunity. Thirdly is a directive. Directive ni tak ada pilihan. Datangnya daripada pihak atasan. Perintah. Arahan. Arahan daripada pihak atasan. So be it a problem or opportunity or directive from the top management. Right? So you will have to propose, you have to present the proposal with regards to the problem that you have discovered and the potential solution. That will be your first presentation, group presentation. Right? And subsequently, selepas saya kata okay, organisasi ni okay, you boleh proceed apa semua, you kena prepare pula lepas tu questionnaire or interview question or whatever data collection techniques yang you nak guna pakai untuk the next phase to identify the functionalities of the system. Now, data collection ni berlaku dalam dua fasa. Satu fasa ialah untuk macam sekarang lah, berkenalan dengan organisasi, nak tahu apa masalah dia, apa sekarang ni the kind of business that they are dealing with, what kinds of products that they sell. That is the first phase of your data collection, to get to know to the organization and its business. How is purchases being made right now, the SE situation, right? The next data collection will be you trying to figure out or trying to elucidate what is it that your stakeholders want if they are given the system. Alright? Sistem yang dibangunkan ni sepatutnya ada apa. So itu adalah another stage of data collection that you will be conducting. Right? And then you should be analysing the requirements, semua yang ada dekat dalam you punya scheme of work ni. Lepas dah dapat requirements, you have to analyse them, you have to come up with the specification of the requirements, and later on design and also with the prototype. The prototype is meant to validate the requirements. Okay? Alright. Alright. Then, okay. All right, various titles and roles of project manager. Right. So in terms of the title, it could be project coordinator, project leader, mungkin project manager, project officer or team leader, okay, project manager or project manager. Now, in your case, we are assuming that the first name that you have submitted for your group, saya ambil nama yang paling awal dalam kumpulan itu merupakan team leader. Team leader Okay, power dia or authority is moderate. Okay. So description of duties may have both project management duties and some technical duties. Manages projects that are generally medium sized and may share project responsibility with clients. So the team leader, assuming the first name in the group, the team leader will then have to coordinate. Okay, not so much about resources, especially duit lah, kan? Okay, apa yang team leader perlu coordinate? Satu ialah tentang submission of deliverables. Because kalau tentang especially submission of deliverables, saya akan minta hanya team leader yang hantar melalui Google Classroom. Saya tak akan assign kepada semua. Dan maknanya satu kumpulan hanya satu submission. I will tell you when to submit individually and when to submit by group. So kalau submit by group, saya cuma terima submission melalui team leader sahaja. Is that clear? Right? Saya tak nak nanti bila saya kata group submission, banyak-banyak semua hantar kat saya. No, I don't want that. Right? When group submission, it's only the team leader who submits the deliverables. Right? Okay. Right. So project management tasks. Beginning of the project is to have the overall project planning. Again, during project is about execution management, control management as well as project close out. Project close out ni maksudnya bila dah habis project tu, what has to be done. It is not like simply tutup macam tu je ya. Ada dia punya tata cara dia. And project management approach differs for predictive and adaptive SDLC. Kita dah tengok dah tentang predictive and adaptive ni dalam topik yang sebelum ini. Okay, so kalau untuk predictive SDLC, also known as waterfall methodology, so overall project planning happens just once in the very beginning. Okay, this is the execution of the project, conduct the project management task in terms of execution and project control management, and finally project close out ni dah habis lah. Right? So analysis, design, implementation, probably more analysis activities, more design activities and implementation. Tapi yang ketara di sini ialah overall project management, project planning task hanya berlaku sekali. Dia tak ada banyak-banyak buat planning. Tak, cuma sekali sahaja. As compared to adaptive, okay, dia ada overall project planning tapi setiap cycle, okay, adaptive is iterative and incremental development. Iterative means looping, berulang, right? So berulang maknanya ada beberapa cycle untuk develop the system. So cycle 1 will have its own detailed cycle plan. Cycle 2 will have its own detailed cycle plan depending on how many cycles you are going to execute to complete the project. Overall planning sama sekali, tapi dalam setiap cycle dipecahkan kecil-kecil ni ada detailed cycle plan for each of the cycle. Right? Okay, so regarding project management body of knowledge, PM Board ni saya tak nak sentuh, you just baca sahaja. And this one is further elaborated in your project management punya class. Dulu saya ajar project management, so I know benda ni memang ada. Yeah. Okay, so project initiation and project planning. Alright, so okay, tak apa. Take 5 sekejap ya. Show me your love. I've got something on tonight.
Touchdown. 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 괜찮은 척 아무리 해봐도 넌 떨린 표정 숨기지 못하겠지. Show me your love. I've got something on tonight. 자꾸만 끌려가 나도 모를 paradise. 조금씩 뜨겁게 감싸 안아줘. 매일 밤 숨겨둔 비밀스런 deep inside. 넌 내 심장을 자꾸 흔들어. 1분 1초 한순간이라도 날 위해서 멈추지 말아줘. 춤을 춰줘 내게 춤을 춰줘 tonight. Touchdown. 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 Touchdown.
Grammarly helps you work more efficiently, which makes accomplishing your work goals easier than ever before.
괜찮은 척 아무리 해봐도 넌 떨린 표정 숨기지 못하겠지. Show me your love. I've got something on tonight. 자꾸만 끌려가 나도 모를 paradise. 조금씩 뜨겁게 감싸 안아줘. 매일 밤 숨겨둔 비밀스런 deep inside. 넌 내 심장을 자꾸 흔들어. 1분 1초 한순간이라도 날 위해서 멈추지 말아줘. 춤을 춰줘 내게 춤을 춰줘 tonight. Touchdown. 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 괜찮은 척 아무리 해봐도 넌 떨린 표정 숨기지 못하겠지. Show me your love. I've got something on tonight. 자꾸만 끌려가 나도 모를 paradise. 조금씩 뜨겁게 감싸 안아줘. 매일 밤 숨겨둔 비밀스런 deep inside. 넌 내 심장을 자꾸 흔들어. 1분 1초 한순간이라도 날 위해서 멈추지 말아줘. 춤을 춰줘 내게 춤을 춰줘 tonight. Touchdown. 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 Touchdown.
Alright, thank you. Sorry. Lupa nak letak mic down. Okay. Okay, talking about this, yeah, project planning activities, define problem. This is the whole SDLC, right? So it starts off project planning, yeah, before we go on to analysis, design, implementation, and support. So what do we do during the planning activities? Again, defining problems, as I've mentioned just now. You produce the project schedule, yeah, confirm project feasibility, staff, and launch the project. Now, key questions. What are these key questions for? Key questions serve as a guideline, yeah, so that we know whether the activity has been completed or not. Contohnya macam kat sini kan, right? Dalam project planning activities ni, dalam project planning ni, the activities adalah daripada defining the problem until launching the project. So macam mana kita nak tahu bahawa we have defined the problem well? So the question to be asked, do we understand what we are supposed to be working on? Okay, for instance, by now, yeah, you should be able to define the problem that is assigned to you for the class project. I'm talking about the context of the class project, right? You are supposed to be coming up with not a complete, but a prototype later on of an online grocery system. Okay, to produce that grocery system, you will have to find a real life stakeholder with real problem. And when we talk about the storage of the groceries that the shop is selling, we have to categorize the groceries accordingly so that the customers are able to search for the groceries based on the categories. Okay, so if you are able to answer the question as how I said just now, then maknanya fahamlah apa masalah dia tu. Tapi you masih teragak-agak macam mana nak jawab soalan ni, define the problem, okay, ataupun you tak tahu apa sepatutnya diselesaikan, dan maknanya activity defining the problem ni belum lengkap. Okay, so each of the team members must be able to answer these key questions. Dalam setiap fasa of the SDLC, there will be key questions, so that every team member know what they are supposed to be doing, what they have done, and so on. Okay, so untuk activity define the problem, you should be able to answer the question. Okay, produce the project schedule. Can the project be completed on time given the available resource? You will have to answer, right or not, right or wrong. Okay, yes or no. Okay, so kalau boleh betul, then show the schedule. Okay, based on the given time and the task. Kalau tak boleh, you will have to justify kenapa tak boleh. We don't have enough resources, for instance. Okay, then confirm project feasibility. Is it feasible to begin working on this project? Okay, ini semua dalam slides yang subsequent slides I explain ya. Staff the project. Are the resources available, trained, and ready to start the project? Key questions ni ya. And then launch the project. Are we ready to start the project? Okay. Subsequent slides are explaining into details about each of the activities. Right? So defining the business problem, yeah. So you have to review the business needs. Tengok kepada strategic plan documents ini kalau necessary lah. Consult key users. Develop list of expected business benefits. So what you can do with your class project at the moment, you can read about the organization. Okay, kalau dah ada website and web application, web apps is not the same ya. Website hanya penerangan tentang kedai itu sahaja. Atau you boleh physically pergi kedai tu minta penerangan daripada you punya key stakeholders of what the business is all about. right? Then identify expected system capabilities. Ini secara kasar sahaja dahulu. Macam saya cakap tadi, the system capabilities is to provide an online platform for the customers to purchase the groceries. Define scope in terms of requirements. Okay, contohnya scope tadi saya kata grocery. Ada lagi scope lain yang kena sentuh lah. Dan create scope document saya tak minta ni, tapi dalam actual real life project you kena produce scope document. Okay, kalau dalam konteks akademik, scope document ni ialah you punya proposal yang you kena hasilkan at the end of CSP600. Okay, dan build proof of concept prototype. Ini lain ya. Prototype ni boleh berada di banyak fasa dalam SDLC. This prototype mentioned here is meant to prove the main concept yang dibangunkan. This prototype is constructed during the planning phase. Right? The second type prototype is the one that you are coming up with in this class. And the objective of the prototype that you will be coming up with is to validate the requirements. You will be identifying the requirements, you will be analyzing and specifying the requirements, and then you will have to validate it through prototype. Tengok dekat scheme of work ya, dah nyatakan dah. Dan create context diagram. Okay. Kenapa context diagram? What is context diagram? CS259, you belajar konteks diagram dengan saya dulu. Semasa ISP550. What's the context diagram?
Data flow diagram.
Ya, Hairi?
Data flow diagram.
Data flow diagram, tapi yang paling awal.
Level 0 punya.
Bukan, belum level 0 lagi. Okay, konteks. Dalam konteks diagram ada apa sahaja? Ada satu bulatan. Okay, with the name of the system. Ada rectangles yang represent entities, external entities. And also ada arrow yang menunjukkan data flow daripada entities kepada sistem dan daripada sistem kepada entities. Itu sahaja. Okay, so daripada konteks diagram kita tahu sistem tersebut, nama sistem tersebut, apa external entities yang akan terlibat dan data, okay, secara kasar, data yang akan dimasukkan ke dalam sistem untuk menjalani proses dan data yang dikeluarkan oleh sistem back to the entities. That's all. That is context diagram. Okay. This next subsequent slide is about an example of system scope document. Ini tak apalah baca je lah ya. Proposal. Okay, there are problem description, problem statement, okay, anticipated business benefits, significance. Okay, so dalam CSP 600 you ada problem statement, you ada significance, right? System capabilities mungkin belum lagi, tapi dalam significant you boleh explain, right? Then producing project schedule, develop work breakdown structure, building schedule using Gantt chart, and then develop resource requirements and staffing plan. Okay, so work breakdown structure. What is work breakdown structure? Kalau kita pakai predictive approach, that is waterfall, ini adalah representation of the work breakdown structure of the project planning activities. Okay, so project planning activities macam kita tengok dekat slide yang tadi, ada 5 activity di situ daripada defining the problem sehinggalah launching the project. Dan dalam setiap activity ada sub activities. Okay, ini untuk predictive ya. As opposed to adaptive, okay, dia ada pecahan-pecahan dia. Define the problem, okay, then project, because dia ada iteration. Planning iteration 1 ada all this. Planning iteration 2 will have similar kind of setup. Mungkin task dia kurang daripada, depends lah ya. Task yang mungkin ada kurang, mungkin ada lebih dalam iteration yang selanjutnya. But we have the planning iteration. Tengok kepada gambar rajah yang tadi tu yang saya tunjuk tu. Then about how entering the WBS, the work breakdown structure into Microsoft project. Saya kata tadi kan, salah satu tool untuk menghasilkan Gantt chart ialah Microsoft project. So you enter the WBS ke dalam Microsoft project, you nyatakan tarikh mula, tarikh tamat, maka dia akan terus hasilkan Gantt chart kepada you. Ya, itu sebab Microsoft project. Dan task definitions ini baca je lah definition ni diterangkan dalam ISP550. Okay, ini contoh Gantt chart lah ya. So you ada Gantt chart, you track it. Gantt chart ni saya nak maklumkan, saya nak ingatkan juga ya, bila you dah hasilkan Gantt chart at the end of your ISP600, Gantt chart tu you bukan hasilkan ikut suka-suka hati je. Because lecturer suruh hasilkan Gantt chart, nak dapatkan markah, you hasilkan Gantt chart. No. Okay. That Gantt chart should serve as your guideline. Okay. Once the Gantt chart has been approved by your lecturer, you have to follow it closely by your lecturer and your supervisor. Right? You have to follow it closely. The Gantt chart is there to show where you are. Sebab dia detail ya, tarikh berapa, apa task you should be doing. Ya, nak buat data collection berapa lama, lepas tu nak buat analysis. Tiba-tiba lepas buat analysis, tengok-tengok data tu tak betul. You kena balik kepada data collection. So you have to have an ample time. Project ni paling critical is data collection and analysis. Mana-mana project pun. Development, kita banyak tools. Ya, coding kita ada banyak tools. Yang paling crucial is during the data collection and analysis. Sebab kalau you salah collect data, you salah analyze, maka salahlah everything. Ya? Yeah? Okay, then identifying risk and confirming feasibility. Okay. Saya nak sentuhkan bahagian feasibility. Right. What are the feasibilities that we have to look for, right? So it says here that we have to look into organizational and cultural feasibility. Ada subsequent slides akan terangkan. Technological feasibility, schedule feasibility, resource feasibility, as well as economic feasibility. So what are those things? Saya tak nak sentuh on risk. Okay. Organization and cultural. Okay. Each company has own culture and the new system must fit into the culture. If you find out from the very beginning that the potential system to be developed is not suitable for the company's culture, then might as well tak payah. Tak payah nak develop, tak payah nak teruskan hasrat untuk develop the system. Why? Because if you continue to develop the system and it is not acceptable as a culture in the company, yeah, the employees will not use the system. It's just a waste. Okay. So, kena evaluate dahulu sama ada staff ataupun employees yang akan guna pakai sistem tersebut agree to use the system. There are many instances whereby yang berlaku ya dalam keadaan dunia sebenar. Employer beria-ria beli macam-macam software yang canggih lah, apa sesama mahal-mahal, tapi tidak diguna pakai oleh employees because it's against the culture. Bukan against the culture lah, the culture is not, they are not used to it, so they don't want to use it. Okay. Okay, so that's about organizational and cultural. For technological feasibility, this is the things that you have to find out. Ya, ni sebelum develop lagi tau. Belum buat apa-apa lagi. You kena cari, you kena kaji dahulu. Does the system track state of the art technology? Teknologi tu adalah, adakah teknologi yang you akan guna pakai dalam development tu merupakan satu teknologi terkini? Okay, how terkini is it will be? How long will it last? Because when we talk about technology, yeah, the movement is so fast, development is so fast. Hari ni kita buat, hari ni new technology is being introduced, besok a newer one will be coming up into the market. So you kena study dahulu. Okay. Does in-house expertise presently exist for development? Nak pakai teknologi yang canggih terkini, ada ke experts kat dalam tu? Orang yang tahu tentang teknologi tersebut. Kalau ada, kalau kita ada teknologi terkini pun, tak ada siapa yang tahu guna pakai, it's no point. Okay. Does an outside vendor, subcontractor tadi, need to be involved? Okay, then solutions, yeah. So if any of these problems occur, solutions include training or hiring more experienced employees, hiring consultants, yeah, advisors to actually give you more knowledge on using the latest technology, for instance, or changing scope, yeah, and project approach. Mungkin kalau you kata okay, teknologi yang kita guna pakai ni taklah canggih sangat, apa semua ada limitations, ya, cost tak cukup duit lah, apa benda kan. Okay, so sekarang ni kita tukar sikit lah scope sistem ni, tak boleh nak guna. Contoh ya, daripada mobile apps, right? Kita tak nak guna mobile apps sebab apa, there's a reason, so tukar dia punya platform daripada mobile apps kepada web application. Ya. Yeah? That's another example. Then schedule feasibility. Estimates needed without complete information. Okay. Satu. Another one, management deadlines may not be realistic. Request datang hari ni, in 1 week nak cepat. Nak siap dalam 1 week. And you, as a project manager, realize that, oh, tak bolehlah seminggu. Kita tak cukup banyak benda, tak cukup resources. So deadlines kena realistic. Okay, so project managers, this is the role of project managers, yeah. Drive realistic assumptions and estimates, yeah. Involve experienced personnel. Kalau tak reti, kena get advice from the experts. Dapatkan nasihat daripada experienced personnel. Okay, and also manage proper allocation for resources. That is about schedule feasibility. Schedule ni selalunya, biasalah bila clients request for new system, dia tahu nak cepat aja. Kalau boleh hari ni request, besok nak siap. Okay, but that is not realistic. So it is the responsibility of the project manager to ensure that the schedule is realistic. Right? And you kena make the clients aware, this is not the only project that you are handling. Banyak lagi project development lain yang going on. Okay. The resource feasibility, you will have to look into the team member availability, yeah, members, yeah, team skill levels, the members, yeah, apa skill levels dia, computer, equipment, supply, semua ni adalah resources. Ensure that resources are sufficient. Support staff time and availability, sentiasa ada support daripada staff lain, ya, physical facilities and all that. Tugas dan tanggungjawab siapa? It is the project manager. Ensure all these are available, right? And finally, economic feasibility, right? You will have to do the cost benefit analysis. Contohnya net present value, payback period, and also ROI techniques, all being taught in ISP650. Semua ada. Okay, you kena kaji sama ada cost develop the system tu akan membawa profit kepada organisation. Bila dia dapat profit? Okay, bilakah, let's say dia fall out 30,000. Bilakah dia akan dapat return on investment? Kan, semua itu kena present, because you will have to present all that to the top management before they can decide whether to proceed with the development or not. The decision to proceed or to KIV, keep in view, or to just halt or ignore the project comes from the top management. Walaupun you buat macam-macam to justify that the project is needed, if the top management says no, then you cannot proceed. Otherwise, you won't get any support from them. Okay, ini contoh lah ya, expenses that may occur during the development. Okay, so intangibles in economic feasibility. What does it mean by intangible benefits? They cannot be measured in dollars. Contohnya, increased level of service, customer satisfaction, survival, need to develop in-house expertise and so on. That's why selalunya organizations bila dia dah deploy new system, dia akan buat survey on customer satisfaction. Dia nak tengok sama ada there is intangible benefits with the system that has been deployed most recently. Okay, and then intangible costs cannot be measured in dollars. Okay, reduced employee morale, lost productivity, lost customer or sales. Ini kita tak boleh measure in dollars, ya, tapi menyebabkan kerugian kepada organisasi. Bila reduce employee morale, orang dah tak produktif lah, lost productivity. So bila lost productivity, the organisation will tend to lose the customers or sales, right? And finally, the last activity in project planning is to staff the project. So develop resource plan for the project and then identify request specific technical staff. Staff ni ada technical, ada user, right? Then organize project team into work groups, okay, like what you are supposed to be doing, right? Conduct preliminary training and team building exercise. That's why some of the organizations dulu lah ya, before MCO, before COVID, pre-COVID time. If you hear that, okay, we have a team building exercise, kena pergi sana lah, pergi sini buat team building. Untuk apa tu semua tu? Because the team members will have to know each other and we have to, identify the strengths and weaknesses of each so that we are able to assign the correct task to the correct members. Through team building to macam-macam activities, just to get to know each of the team members. Right, and the key stuff in question are the resources available, trained and ready to start. Yeah, key question tadi apa dia? Kalau kita able to answer it, then okay, fine, kita boleh proceed. Tapi kalau kita teragak-agak, resource tak sure lah available ke tak ke, staff dia ni tak belum hantar training, dia ni entah bila nak pergi training, then you are not ready. Okay. And finally, launch the project. Scope, when you have defined the scope, you have identified the risk, you have undergone the feasibility study in terms of cultural, organizational, economic, technology, semua feasibility, you find it to be feasible. Schedule has been developed, team members identified and ready. Okay, and you have the oversight committee finalized. Oversight committee apa? Ini bukan macam orang luar, third party yang akan overlook the whole project, right? Meet to give go ahead and release funds. Okay, ini penting ya, duit ada, right? Formal announcement made to all involved parties within the organization, and then the key question, are we ready to start? And if the answer is no, maknanya you are not ready to start. Kalau we are not sure, there are things that is not finalized yet, then you are not ready to start. Unless you answer yes, then only the project can be started. All right. Okay, so that wraps up the topic on project management. So these are the summary. We have looked into the project management tasks. Okay. Start at SDLC project planning phase, right? Throughout the SDLC, this is the first phase, and it continues throughout each SDLC phase. Dia merupakan umbrella kepada the whole project, right? So organizing and directing other people and knowledge areas, ini adalah the tasks and roles of the project manager. Right, and then project initiation. This is what you do. Information system needs identified and prioritized in strategic plans, right? And project planning phase, daripada define problem sehinggalah launching of the project. Okay, so how do you relate this to your class project? I keep on emphasizing on this. Right, you have identified the the team members. Right. Next task yang saya suruh hari tu ialah to identify an organisation who is willing to cooperate with you in the context of grocery business. Right. And the organisation currently tak ada online grocery punya purchasing. Customer nak beli grocery tak ada provide online punya platform. You are supposed to provide it. Alright. So, being a team leader, being a team leader, you are supposed to be assigning the tasks, to the team members based on what you have to do. Apa yang you kena buat dalam scheme of work tu sedikit sebanyak guidelines dah ada. Defining the organisation, alright. Then next thing untuk data collection, definitely you will have to identify the tool. Kalau nak interview, jangan pergi tangan-tangan kosong. Prepare the questions to ask. Apa you nak tahu daripada organisasi tersebut? You dah ada you punya ultimate. Yang ultimate you ialah untuk come up dengan satu online application untuk purchase grocery. Okay, so what questions should be asked to the organisation? That one you kena prepare. So team leader, you kena identify siapa. Jangan kalau 5 orang dalam kumpulan tu, tak payahlah 5-5 sekali pergi interview. Okay, pening orang tu nak layan nanti. Right, select several members to conduct the interview. If you can. Saya rasa kalau perlukan surat, itu saya kata daripada faculty, dan you kena minta daripada pejabat akademik. Kalau your stakeholders mintakan proof that you are a student conducting project. Okay, this is an academic project. So kena minta daripada pejabat akademik. So you have to settle all this within this week and next, because next week is a break. Right, so identify, again, the organisation will identify what questions to be asked in order for you to get to know further about the organisation. And again, as I've said, if letters are needed, then please request it from pejabat akademik. Okay, what problems that they are currently facing, probably, what types of groceries that they are selling, how is the purchases made at the moment, semua tu perlu diambil kira. Alright, okay, ada soalan? Okay, no questions as of now, right? Okay. If we interview the stakeholder from Facebook only, dulu means during MCO mungkin terpaksa. Tapi bila you can go physically, face to face, apa definition interview? It is a physical meeting of two parties. Interview, you look at it physically. Okay, it is best for you to go physically to the store, right? Okay, do I answer your question, Amirul? Right, so if there are no more questions, then okay. Business that my team is going to... Apa dia, Kamarul? Non-online presence. There is only Facebook page that is not that is inactive. All right. Oh, okay. That would be good. Okay. They don't have any online presence. Then I'm sure they have physical presence. Then. Okay, good. Okay, Kamaru. Okay. They exist physically. I believe that there are physical shops, don't they? So or is it how is the business currently conducted? Itu adalah salah satu key question yang you kena tanya kepada you punya stakeholder. Kamarul, if you are not
Yeah.
fit,
Yes,
yeah.
sorry, I have a fever, so that's why I have a lot of typos. So
No
yes,
problem.
the shop has no online presence. The
Uh-huh.
Facebook page is inactive. The
Okay.
last post was during the MCO, I believe.
Uh-huh.
And now they only have the physical store,
Okay.
of course, and they do not have a business card. So what I
Uh-huh.
propose to them is I'll design the business card for them, and so
Okay.
I'll be
You'll be doing it from scratch, you mean?
yes, from scratch,
Okay.
from the very
Alright.
beginning.
Alright.
So I'm helping them to integrate the store to the online platform.
Okay, good.
Is that okay? Is
Okay,
everything all
yeah,
right?
yeah, that will be good. Except that when you conduct your data collection, it is best for you to meet them physically.
Yes, of course. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So, thank you very much.
Doktor, sorry for
Saya
interrupt.
tak ada doktor, saya
Oh, doktor. Oh, sorry.
puan
sorry.
aja.
Oh,
Puan.
puan. Okay.
Yes,
Sorry,
Afif.
puan. Saya nak tanya, madam, simpan recording semua ni dekat mana? Boleh?
Okay. Sekejap ya. Saya nak edit recording ni. Sebabnya ada setengah tu saya lapse. Setengah tu saya over record. So nanti pakai space banyak. So I'm asking my daughter to do the editing. Saya rasa saya nak letak dekat YouTube. Sebab dulu saya lepas dia edit pun saya download to MP4. Lepas tu saya attach dekat Google Classroom, tapi it takes up space juga. I think I'm going to have a YouTube link nanti. Yeah, I'm setting it up, insyaAllah.
Okay, thank you so much, doktor. Sorry. Sebabnya nak tengok balik video sebelum ni kan.
Okay.
Info. Okay, thank you.
Alright. Ada soalan lain?
Madam.
Ya.
So kalau kita cari grocery store, kiranya kita buat sistem yang sama lah untuk semua group. Semua group buat sistem yang sama.
Ya, semua group buat sistem untuk grocery. Online grocery system. Cumanya stakeholders ni berbeza. Takkanlah semua orang nak pergi kat satu kedai yang sama kan?
Betul.
Okay. Semua orang buat online grocery. Apa yang differ probably is about the categorizing of the grocery. Itu salah satu. Okay. Secondly, about the business process. Okay. Mungkin business process ni maknanya, okay. Okay, macam mana kita beli barang? Okay, kalau physically kita pergi kedai, kita ambil bakul, kita pergi kedai, kita masukkan barang dalam kedai, barang dalam bakul, and then we go to the counter scan, price, blah, 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 and then we check out. Okay, kita bayar. Itu physical, right? Tapi bila kita buat online purchasing, ada different kind of business process sometimes. Setengah tu dia dah letak dalam cart, ada ke keadaan yang tak boleh nak letak balik? Mungkin ada. Setengah kedai bila dia kata you dah ambil tu tak boleh nak letak balik. Kena identify lah benda-benda ni. Kan? So kalau in actual tu sepatutnya bila kita dah letak dalam cart and then we change our mind nak letak balik tu boleh. Kan? So macam mana proses pembelian? That is the business process ya. Proses pembelian sekarang ini secara fizikal dan proses pembelian yang you propose dalam online grocery tu macam mana rupa dia. Itu you akan letak dalam you punya proposal nanti. I will explain further on the proposal, don't worry. Okay. Alright, Amirul?
Okay, madam, faham.
Yang lain-lain ada soalan?
Tak ada, madam.
Okay, tak ada Alright. Okay then, thank you again for attending this session. InsyaAllah, I'll see each of the groups during your tutorial nanti, and probably during tutorial kita boleh discuss further. InsyaAllah. Right, thank you then. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.